Okay, so we're looking at the show control for the X32, and this is the mixer snippets. And you can select various things that you want on the mixer snippets. And this, I have highlighted the worship practice. But I think I have all the same settings for what, oh no. I see over here in bus 1 through 4 I have different things set for that. Not sure why. But basically it's the same thing. And on kind of this main part, we can do matrix sends, M/C sends, bus, and the bus sends. We can select those. But there's nowhere to select the main stereo bus. In other words, main left and right. There's no place to check that on and off. So in order to do this modification that I did, I decided to send everything that I wanted to go out to the main left and right bus through first the bus 6, 15, and 16. So you'll see up here the stereo bus is selected for that one, and of course this one also. I'm going to turn off sends on faders just for a minute. But as we go through my channels, nothing else is going to the main left and rights. Nothing. So if it wants to get through to the main left and rights, everything has to go through bus 15 and 16. So then how do I get stuff to bus 15 and 16? These are stereo pair. So whatever is selected to go to 15 will also go to 16 basically when I push sends on fader. So how does it work? So what happens here is now I'm in service mode, and the track is going to left and right mains. Let's go back over here to 1 through 16. I'm going to switch back to worship practice mode as soon as I confirm this. Try that one more time. This is service mode. This is worship practice mode. So basically what I've done is during worship practice, I've muted everything to the left and right mains. So, and the reason for that is I'm going from the left and right stream. I'm going to the ATEM. That comes in over here on the ATEM on mic 1. This one comes in on mic 1 here. And then from there it goes out to the foyer. So this program output, whatever's here, is going out to the foyer. So let's go back over to here. Let's go to the AUX level. So this is set up for the service. Excuse me, this is set up for worship practice. When I hit this for the service, it unmutes. One more time, let me get my frame set here. So this is set up for service. This is set up for worship practice. And it mutes, for worship practice, it's muting the aux 1, which is the track. And for the service, it's unmuting the track, but it's keeping the click muted. So just in case we mess with the front panel, it doesn't mess up this. So turning Sends on Fader off, this would be what the sound person is actually working with. Turning Sends on Fader back on, so this is what's going to the, because I have this selected here, this is what's going to the stream. And it doesn't matter which of these I press because they're in a stereo pair. Sends on Fader. The Sends on Fader lets you see what is going to each bus. So that is helpful. On the other side, I'm going to go back here to the matrix main 1 through C, and let's explore what's going to the house. So I'm selecting the house, and I'm selecting Sends on Fader. So what's going out to the house at this point? If I go to, let's go to the aux level. If I go to worship practice, it's muting the CD. If I go to service, it's unmuting the CD. And I have these, also have these levels set for the house. We're still on Sends on Fader, and you can see levels set for house. And here we go. Now, this confused me at first when I went back to look at this. Muted, like everything else along this line, except for lapel, Marcus, handheld, guest lapel. So why is that? So why are those muted? To answer that question, we need to go to the bus level. Here's where they're not muted. We have instruments, or vocals, a vocal subgroup and an instrument subgroup. So if I go over here to the, vocal subgroups, and I click select, and we see Sends on Fader, and then I go over here to the actual channels, you'll see that the vocal mics are not muted here. And if I click and this is a stereo pair, so this doesn't change anything. If I click this, it doesn't change anything. But if I go to instruments, now all these are muted, but the instruments are not muted. So going back to our main, our house mix here. So this is the house mix here. Over to this part of the world, we see everything is muted except for our speaking mics and the keyboard. On here, we don't want the translate going out there, we don't want the drums going out there, we don't want the congregation going out there. It's okay if the MP3 goes out there. Next channel, all these are good. We have nothing coming from the USB, and we can probably unmute this in case we ever want to play something from the USB. Okay. So that's how we get stuff to the house mix. So now what I've done here is I've selected these snippets for the sermon, for the service, and worship practice. And it changes these channels, but all it changes is the bus 13 through 16 sends and the mono center sends. Doesn't change anything else. That's why it works for us, that we can have everything. All the faders can be set in practice, and changing these things just changes where the sound is going. It doesn't change the actual level at all. So right now I've selected bus 15 and 16, which is the stream mix, and I'm on sermon mode right now, so the congregation mic is not muted. When I click on service, and that mutes it. So for worship, the congregation is muted going out to the stream. But for the sermon, the congregation is unmuted.